Morning. This is Mark Johnson from Loyalty 360, welcoming you to an ongoing Thought Leadership in Loyalty series. Today, we have Nancy Porte, who is a Vice President of Customer Experience at Verint. She's an expert in managing customer operations. She's experienced in developing voice of the customer programs and increasing satisfaction and loyalty through differentiated customer experience. Nice to have you with us, Nancy.
Thank you, Mark, and thank you for asking me to participate today.
Absolutely. First question we have for you today: what would you like to see change in the market's approach to the customer experience, engagement, and loyalty processes?
Well, first, I'd like to say that, customer experience management is fairly new, and I think we've enjoyed amazing support from the marketplace as a new profession. At the same time, I think one of our biggest limitations right now is that we really don't have a coherent set of definitions around a lot of the ideas that make up customer experience management. Right now, I think you could ask 10 different people what customer loyalty is and get 10 different answers, maybe 11. And so I think that there's a lot of work to be done. You can have a conversation with someone and get pretty far down the road, think you're talking about customer loyalty, and realize that someone else is talking about customer satisfaction. So those are the first two terms I think that need definition. You see a lot of interchangeability too when people are talking about voice of the customer, VOC, and customer experience management. And both are very, very discrete ideas and terms. The other interchangeability that you see is people use customer experience and customer service interchangeably, and we know those are very, very different things too. So I think the marketplace could help us create those definitions and then really work hard to make sure those definitions are kept intact, and that's going to help us mature as an industry as well.
What do you believe is key in creating the ultimate customer experience?
Oh, the ultimate. I think there's a couple of very, very important things. The first is to make sure that you operationalize the strategy. When you start talking about customer experience in an organization, you get a lot of excitement around it. Who's going to say anything bad about treating customers better and growing the business? It's like mom and apple pie. So there's a lot of energy around creating that strategy and a lot of support. But there's also a lot of work that goes into operationalizing that strategy. You need to build the infrastructure of data. You need to look at that data and make sure that you understand what it's telling you as an organization and socialize those insights throughout the organization. And finally, you need to create change. Well, that isn't done overnight. So what happens a lot of times is that while you're operationalizing that strategy and going through all those necessary steps, you lose a lot of the excitement and the passion for the program. So I think, that there's a couple things you can do, and one of the most important things is right at the very beginning, as you're talking about this program for your organization, create the expectation that it's a multi-year project. So no one is surprised when you don't have an immediate outcome. And the second thing is as a practitioner too, you want to have some quick wins. Identify some things where you don't need a ton of data to identify that it needs change and go ahead and change those. So operationalizing the strategy is a very, very key piece of the program. The other piece is making sure that you are really have the support of other professionals as you're going through this. We are in uncharted waters with a lot of our program. We're doing something new and exciting, but we don't always have cookie cutter solutions. So it's really important to have a group of people that are going through the same thing and can tell you how they've solved issues. And I'll tell you, I found great support at the Loyalty 360 conferences. You get a lot of timely information as well as you develop those contacts. But, there's local organizations as well. But it's very, very important to have that network of other practitioners.
What new or trending technology or strategy do you believe has or will have the most influence on customer experience and loyalty?
Without a doubt, it's mobile. Mobile, mobile, mobile. We used to think that the advent of mobile technology was going to be very generational. That the millennials have grown up with their fingers attached to the black glass. So we knew we had to have a mobile strategy for that generation. But in fact, it is across all age groups. And the mobile strategy gives us the ability in customer experience to move from being reactive when people call us, when they need something, to really being proactive. I love mobile strategy because it allows us to anticipate what customers would want and deliver that much, much more in more personalized way and in a much more timely manner. So I think mobile is a big part of what customer experience strives to do, which is, give the customer what they need as far as our products and services go, and make sure they have those things when they need it. And mobile even gives us the ability to deliver a little bit before.
What is the best advice you've given to organizations thinking about implementing a voice of the customer solution?
That's a great question. I hope I've given good advice. I think, one of the most surprising maybe pieces of advice that I like to give is that the voice of the customer program should be very closely aligned with the voice of the employee program. It's very difficult to have engaged customers if you don't have engaged employees. So aligning with the voice of the employee program is vital. The other piece that's vital is having a voice of the customer through the employee program, because employees on the front lines see and hear and evaluate things much more differently than others in the organization. So having a mechanism where they can always be helping us understand what we can do more for the customer is very, very valuable. And the other piece of advice, I think, too, that we've given to organizations, and it goes back to that organizational patience again, is making sure that everyone understands that it takes a long time to change a culture in an organization and become more customer-centric so that you can hit that loyalty pinnacle that you're looking for. Those are the two pieces of advice that I think we give most often.
Nancy, thank you very much for the wonderful insight. We look forward to additional contributions from you in 2013.
I look forward to it as well. Thank you, Mark.